Hello and welcome to part 7 of Superman in Media. This time we will be talking about Superman's animated appearances, most notably the animated series and movies, as well as the Justice League series and Justice League Unlimited series. Superman the Animated Series was produced by Warner Bros. Animation and originally aired on Kids WB from September 1996 to February 2000. The series was one of many spin-offs from the hugely successful Batman the Animated Series. As with Batman, Superman the Animated Series was highly praised for its quality animation and mature themes. Originally, producer Bruce Timm wanted to have a more classic 1940s Fleischer feel to the series, with early designs of the characters echoing this feel. This led to the popular Art Deco, quote-unquote, or as the producers called it, Ocean Liner Deco, that the show is famous for, blending new with the old. One major aspect carried over from the John Byrne's Man of Steel reboot released 10 years prior was Superman's powers were significantly lowered compared to his comic book counterpart. In the comics of old, Superman could lift millions of tons effortlessly, but this version struggled lifting trucks, bridges, and robots. Again, this echoed Timm's wish to have a Fleischer feel to the show, as the 1940s Superman struggled with these feats as well. The show also pioneered new paths for Superman and his supporting characters. One such change was making Brainiac not only from Krypton, but also the computer AI that withheld knowledge of Krypton's impending doom. Other changes saw Kal-El's rocket not crashing to Earth, but rather landing, allowing the ship to be used by an adult Superman to travel long distances in space, allowing Superman to find Supergirl's cryostasis pod in the wreck of the Kryptonian colony, instead of her crash landing on Earth much like Superman did. While the series features almost all of Superman's rogues gallery, from Metallo to Bizarro, the writers also paid tribute to Jack Kirby's Fourth World creation by making Darkseid Superman's arch enemy. The series envisioned him close to the all-powerful deity Kirby created, rather than the scheming generic villain from the animated shows across the 1980s. Superman the Animated Series, like with all of DC's animated universe shows at the time, received a comic book tie-in, which ran from 1996 till 2001, spanning 68 issues, a Lobo special, and an annual. Writers such as Mark Millar, Paul Dini, and Dan Slott all contributed to the series. Superman the Animated Series was widely regarded as one of, if not the finest and most faithful adaptations of the Superman mythos, being praised along with its parent show Batman the Animated Series. Midway through the show's run, it combined with the new Batman Adventures to form the new Batman-Superman Adventures, which in turn spun Superman and Batman off into the next animated show, Justice League. Consisting of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Wally West's Flash, Jon Stewart's Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl, Justice League ran for 2 seasons before breaking off into Justice League Unlimited, which widened the cast of characters to allow for more obscure DC characters such as Atom, Batlash, and Vixen to become part of the Justice League. Most of the series contained self-contained storylines or extended story arcs, which had their plots informed by other animated shows at the time such as Static Shock and the Zeta Project. Near the end of the series, the characters started becoming off limits, most notably the Batman family characters thanks to the then in production animated show The Batman. Aquaman and his supporting characters were also off the table thanks to a live action pilot being put into development at the time as well. Because of this, the writers started getting creative with the use of lesser known DC Comics characters such as Deadman and the Seven Soldiers of Victory. Along with the animated series, DC released various animated projects as direct-to-video movies with the help of the animated series producer Bruce Timm. The films were slightly more adult in nature, with all except All-Star Superman and Green Lantern Emerald Knights receiving a PG-13 rating, while the more recent Killing Joke movie received an R rating. The first of these films released was Superman Doomsday, which is loosely based on the 1992-1993 story The Death of Superman. The film deviated heavily from the storyline involving a clone of Superman, leading to many fans disliking it. After several team films including the very successful Justice League The New Frontier, the first story arc of Superman Batman was adapted in Public Enemies, which saw President Lex Luthor call for the arrest of both Superman and Batman after framing them for the impending destruction of the planet and the death of Metallo. A sequel movie was also made called Superman Batman Apocalypse, which was based off the second story arc of the comic, which saw the arrival of Supergirl to Earth. Some of Superman's more popular stories were also adapted in All-Star Superman vs. the Elite and Superman Unbound. All-Star Superman was adapted from the award-winning story by Grant Morrison with art by Frank Quitely. The story saw Superman's last days on Earth. Superman vs. the Elite was adapted from What's So Funny About Truth, Justice and the American Way by Joe Kelly and saw Superman tested to his limits by the Elite. Superman Unbound was adapted from the Superman Brainiac storyline, which saw Superman and his cousin Kara fighting Brainiac for the first time. Superman the Animated Series holds a pretty special place in my heart. It originally aired right when I was in the middle of grade school, so I was directly in that intended demographic for the show, and it's also around the same time that I started collecting comics and Superman comics, so to have my favourite character not just in comics but also on TV every week was a big plus. It was also a really great interpretation of the source and kept a lot of the comic material but also developed its own things that fit in with those comic aspects. It also helped that it was fun as hell and didn't take itself too seriously. It knew it was a cartoon for kids. It was also had a really bunch of great episodes, especially the first 3 in the series, which were sort of the origin story, and it was a great introduction to Superman and his supporting characters and a great introduction to Superman as a character. It sort of set up his core beliefs and his morals and everything. It was really great. The Lobo 2-parter as well, I think in season 2 or the end of season 1 was actually really great as well, and especially, you know, viewing it like nowadays after years after it happened, when you think that Lobo was kind of this hardcore character in the 90s, so him appearing in was essentially an animated Saturday morning cartoon for kids is kind of bizarre but also kind of genius at the same time, because he kind of lended himself to that and he was really great in the show as well. I really liked him. So yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Definitely comment down below on what your favorite Superman animated series episode was, or if you have a couple of episodes, and what your favorite animated film is. I know there's quite a few out there, and I know there's definitely a lot of people who like different ones, so it's going to be interesting to see what people like what. So until next time, take care, guys. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my latest video. Hope you enjoyed it. While you're here, why not check out another one of my reviews, like and subscribe my channel for more reviews and videos, and follow me on Twitter at Matt_FOS. Thanks guys, and I will see you all next time.